$2 super chat from Bro Wild, who wants to know my favorite movie. Bro Wild is asking the personal questions today. For a long time, my favorite movie was Fight Club. It was Fight Club not because, like, a lot of people watch Fight Club and they think that it's a movie that glorifies violence, and then they feel like they're entranced at the idea of going into a basement and beating the shit out of each other, and like being that way, and that wasn't why Fight Club was my favorite movie. It was my favorite movie because of the subtle way in, well, first of all, it's just an amazingly crafted movie. David Fincher at the height of his craft. It's a really good movie. Brad Pitt, Ed Norton, Helena Bonham Carter, amazing performances. Meatloaf. It's a great movie. But I really liked that the message was actually the opposite of what so many people thought it was when they watched it. It was that that nihilism is destructive and pointless, and Tyler Durden was not the good guy. He was not the hero, and he was not meant to be seen as that way, to looked up to. And I really enjoyed how they told that message without, in a way that so many people seem to have misunderstood. But I think I outgrew that. I think that was my favorite movie when I was a little bit younger. And I think later my favorite movie became Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain with Hugh Jackman. And I can't remember the actress's name. Unfortunately, I can't remember her name. The Fountain, I think, is a movie about confronting your own mortality. And that theme became more relevant to me than, whether you should go into a basement and beat the shit out of other people for fun as I got a little older. And I think probably if I had to pick, like, what's your favorite movie, I would say The Fountain. Although I don't spend a lot of time thinking about my favorite movie. Yeah. Fight Club looks amazing. Like the music, Chemical Brothers, David Fincher, the director, like it is this just apex of movie making where every single part of it, the person doing that part was just at the top, and just absolutely. It's just a very good movie. So, anyway.
Do you have a favorite TV series?
Ooh.
For people who don't know, I'm not a movie guy. It would be hard for me to even name my favorite movie, but I have a list of TV shows.
I'm going to tell you my honest answer, and it's an embarrassing answer. But my honest answer is that my favorite TV series is Friends. I have watched Friends from start to finish at least 5 times. Not recently. I say that as if like I need to make an apology for it. But there was a time when me and my wife together, we watched Friends, and it was just really comforting just to kind of sit down and watch Friends. And it was kind of funny and kind of sweet and just nice to sit there and watch it. And like there was a period where we could just quote any episode, like almost, or I watched them, I downloaded them on like Napster or LimeWire. And then later I ripped the DVD versions, but the DVD versions sometimes would have a couple of extra little lines that got cut out of the broadcast version. And I'd be watching the DVD version and there would be like an extra line. I'd be like, wait a minute, where did that line come from? That line's not in this episode. Like I was almost a savant level of familiarity with Friends. So if I had to pick, it would be Friends, just because I've watched Friends so many times. But like, if I was like at the pearly gates and St. Peter said, "What's your favorite?" If I wanted to impress somebody, I wouldn't tell them that Friends was my favorite TV show. That's my guilty pleasure.
I mean, if you
I'm
like
trying
it,
to
you like
think.
it, right?
Yeah, no, obviously. I watched Dark, the German show on Netflix, and it's a freaking masterpiece. Like, it really stands out. Breaking Bad, like, it's not controversial to say Breaking Bad was a really good show. I have never rewatched Breaking Bad though. Sometimes I think I'd like to.
You seen Better Call Saul?
I never got into Better Call Saul. It just didn't grab me. I
That's
mean,
a better
I have
TV
to
show than Breaking Bad.
really, like, I
Yeah.
have to want to be sitting down and watching a show, you know? Gosh, there's more. Futurama's pretty high up there. Futurama's pretty high up there. I'll always watch them. Every time they come back after 5 years and release more episodes of Futurama, I'm very happy. Yeah. Feels like there's more that I'm not thinking of that I've watched. But there you go. Let's see. I keep wanting to watch The Wire because people say The Wire is so good, but I never get into it. Never watched Stranger Things.
For
The
me, like
Office. The Office. Yeah. Go ahead.
Severance. Have you seen Severance?
Severance is that's the one about the people who go to work. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
You recommended that to me. We watched that whole first season. I have to say, I feel like, and I'm not going to give away any spoilers for people who haven't watched it because I hate when people spoil things. I have to say that I felt like Severance didn't get where it was going fast enough. And by the time the season ended, I kind of felt like I'd been kind of teased a little bit. And it's like, you can tease me and draw it out, but you need to give me a payoff. And I don't feel like it really delivered enough of a payoff to make the whole season be worth watching. That was a little too slow and a little too drawn out and a little too much, ooh, questions, and not enough answers.
We'd have to have a spoiler conversation to go back and forth on that one.
I think we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like there's certain shows where if you spoil them, you're really detracting from people's enjoyment of the show, and I don't want to do that. As many people may not. I think it's worth... See, if I thought it was a shit show that wasn't worth watching, I wouldn't be worried about spoiling it. But
also, Barry is really good. If nobody has watched Barry.
I've heard Barry's good.
Barry's
I like
amazingly
Bill Hader.
good. Bill Hader's way better than you think he is at being a real actor.
Yeah.
Fargo, at least the first 2 seasons and the current season are pretty good. I'm not so hot on the 3 and 4. Yeah.
I love Archer. Like, again, Archer's like funny and kind of trashy. Like, I don't consider it to be high art, but in terms of comedy, it's just so freaking funny. Archer's so funny.
Righteous Gemstones. That's a great show.
No. I'm trying to think, like, there's more shows I've watched. There's like shows that were several seasons long that I've watched, like all of them, and they're just not coming to me. I don't know. I'm trying to scroll and see if anybody mentions them.
Yeah. I really like The Good Place. That's over with, but that was a good show.
And so watched a couple seasons of that, and then was like, meh, it's just not holding me.
Fringe,
anyway,
also a great show. Fringe, go back.
Yeah. No, I don't watch as much TV, especially now. I used to watch more TV than I do now. Anyway. Yeah, there you go. How about a show I disliked? Oh.
Yeah, the next super chat actually from Black Jungle is how about the least favorite movie? So maybe we could do
least favorite movie. Okay, I'll tell you this. One of the only movies I've ever walked out on was Hot Shots 2. which it was a stupid comedy movie. I don't know why I went to see it in the theater. I don't remember why I walked out of it. And I've heard it's
part due.
Part due, yeah. I've heard it get a good reception later. People are like, oh yeah, I really like that movie. That's a great movie. I don't remember, but I went into that movie and walked out of it. So, was it Hot Shots? No, it was was it the baseball movie? I think it was Hot Shots. Anyway, I don't remember. I did walk out of that movie.
I mean, the plot seems terrible. So.
Oh, it's a dumb comedy. It's stupid. I think it was too stupid for me and not stupid enough to be funny. Or I just didn't find it funny. Least favorite show. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a show that I was just... You know what? I'll tell you this. I keep trying to watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If you want to know about a least favorite show. Now, hang on. Don't come at me. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I see the clips, and the clips are hilarious, and I want to be in on the joke. Because the clips, I don't have the full context for the clips, and I feel like I'm missing the joke. And so 3 times now, I have sat down and tried to start watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And they are such unlikable people. And here's the thing. I watched Seinfeld, and I really enjoyed Seinfeld. And my wife says, I can't watch Seinfeld. They are such horrible people. I don't want to spend 25 minutes watching them be horrible. It's not enjoyable. And I find them, yes, they're horrible people. That's the point, but they're funny. And so I feel like that's the argument someone would make about Always Sunny. But I just find the people in Always Sunny so unlikable that I can't get through to the other side of enjoying their comedy.
Yeah, that's 100% the thing with Always Sunny is you're almost always siding with everyone but the people who run the bar.
Yes, and then you watch them get their comeuppance, right? Except the people in Always Sunny often don't get their comeuppance. Sometimes they do. I think I acknowledge that Always Sunny is God tier television, as Joel Tex said. I acknowledge that it's my problem that I can't latch onto it, but I cannot latch onto it, and I've tried. So, okay. All right, I'm still trying to think of a bad show that I noped out on.
I mean, for me, we could say Young Sheldon or something, right?
Oh, that even doesn't even get on my radar, though. Yeah, sure. I didn't even watch that. Anyway, I'm watching Sense8 now. My wife loves Sense8. She's watched it 3 times. So now she's I was like, let's watch it together. So I'm watching Sense8. There you go. Curb Your Enthusiasm I like. In small doses. I can watch 2 or 3 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm in a row before I'm just exhausted and anxious from watching the episodes. But Curb Your Enthusiasm is the right level of horrible people doing horrible things and then weird things happening, and it's funny.
I haven't tried it since it came back. Yeah. But the original Curb I really liked, but once it came back, I tried 1 episode, and it felt like they were all too in on it, and it all felt like it was too produced, and that may have gone away again, but it just was almost too hard to watch. So I really like Curb, though.
Yeah, I like Curb. It's like the frickin' episode, one of the last episodes I watched was the episode where he steals the shoes from the Holocaust Museum, and then the shoes turn out to be the shoes of the woman he's dating relative or something, and he takes the shoes off and she sees her relative's name written on the inside of the shoes, and I'm like, this is so horrible, and yet it's so ridiculous that it doesn't ping my actual anxiety. It's so surreal, right? Whereas Always Sunny is is not surreal enough. That's what it is. Always Sunny is horrible people doing horrible things, but it's not far enough over the line that it crosses over and I can suspend disbelief and enjoy it. Anyway. Studio Ghibli, sure. Spirited Away, one of my favorite movies for sure, Spirited Away. I think there's an amazing message in Spirited Away that I will not dive into right now because this has gone on probably long enough.